Welcome back in. We are on to our second quarterfinal game. Only one game today, once again, to preview. And that game is going to be Spain going up against Belgium. Two sides going in very different directions right now, talent-wise. Both are playing for the right to play France next Tuesday in Dallas. A lot to get to here, so let's get after it. Welcome into World Cup preview, World Cup today here on the Nick Burt Sports Network. I am your host, as always, Nick Burt. It is a pleasure to be coming to you once again for our second quarterfinal game. 7 teams remain in this tournament. 7 games remain in this tournament, which means, of course, after today, there will only be 6 teams left and only 6 games to go, which is, once again, quite sad to think about. But we can't think about the future right now. We have to think about the present. And the present today, 3 p.m. Eastern time, is going to be Spain taking on Belgium. Now, these are two sides that are going in varying directions, just overall as countries on the playing field. We have talked plenty about Belgium and this being the last dance of the golden generation, and how, you know, you got your Lukakus, your De Bruynes, your Courtois, all aging out, and how this is their last World Cup and last chance of really kind of doing anything relevant. And then you have Spain on the other hand, who, while yes, they do have some, older talent, this is a younger team on, truly on the side of things. This is a team that obviously won the Euro 2 years ago and is looking to win their second World Cup. This is a interesting dynamic of game here. First off, we have to talk about Spain here, because this Spain team still has not conceded a goal at this World Cup, which is kind of hard to believe. If you go through their score lines, it was a 0-0 draw against Cabo Verde to open up the tournament, then a 4-0 win against Saudi Arabia, followed up by closing out the group stage with a 1-0 win against Uruguay. You get to the knockout stages, they beat Austria 3-0, and then of course they beat Portugal 1-0 back in the round of 16 just a few days ago. And of course, that one, it was a Mikel Moreno goal in the first minute of second half stoppage time that put Spain through to the quarterfinal. Now, that was a game Spain they dominated that game, truly. Possession-wise, I think they had about 55 or 56% of the possession. They had the more shots in the game. They had the more shots on target in the game. They just couldn't get it past the Portugal keeper until, of course, the first minute of stoppage time. And, Unai Simon had a great game for Spain to keep them in that game. But Spain went through to the quarterfinal. Now, we have talked a lot about Belgium not really being impressive at this tournament. They had the 1-1 draw against Egypt, the 0-0 draw against Iran. They closed out the group stage with a 5-1 win against New Zealand, who, of course, we have talked about are the worst team at this tournament, FIFA ranking-wise. It then took a spirited comeback in the last 5 minutes to take it to extra time against Senegal, where they ended up winning 3-2. And then the 4-1 demolishing of the United States back on Monday night. And we talked plenty about that game on Monday night. It was a disaster for U.S. soccer. I think that game said a lot more about the U.S. than it did about Belgium. And, I'm sorry to the Belgian people. I mean, they played a great game. I have to give them that. But I don't think that's indicative of how Belgium are going to play the rest of this tournament because I don't think they're that good. I have said this plenty of times. The draw against Egypt, the draw against Iran, needing to come back within the final 5 minutes against Senegal just to send it to extra time. All of those combined kind of just don't do it for me. This Belgium, and I've called out Rudy Garcia multiple times, and do I feel like I need to do it again? Not really, but he's not the greatest of managers. Is he an upgrade on Roberto Martinez? Sure, maybe. I don't know. Roberto Martinez is a pretty terrible manager. That is saying something, to say the least. But this Belgium team, I know, like, obviously the 4-1 game, there's a 3-2 game there, and the 5-1 game. Belgium struggled to get goals, and I know that sounds dumb, but, you know, the 1-1 game against Egypt, they were woeful for all 90 minutes. It was even worse for the Iran game. They looked awful for the first 85 minutes against Senegal. There were, yes, moments in the U.S. game where they didn't look good. Now, were they already up at that point? Yes, but this team seems to struggle to get goals. And it's more because I don't think they truly know what their attack is. That is one of the bigger problems. It feels like the lineup is constantly switching day in, day out. Like Charles de Ketelaere, you know, of course he has a breakout game against the United States. But then you look back at the game against Senegal. He only played 45 minutes in that game and he didn't play well. You look back at the game against Iran, he just was on the bench the whole game. You know, those, and he did have an assist against the U.S. too. Those were all his first points of this World Cup. He didn't do anything against Egypt. He didn't do anything against Iran. He played 85 minutes and somehow didn't even register an assist in that 5-1 game against New Zealand. And then, like I said, the Senegal game, he only played 45 minutes. So, you know, it's like trying to find your best players, but you're in a quarterfinal right now, and you still don't have a consistent lineup. You know, you do look at, like, the players that weren't in this starting lineup on Monday. You know, you look at the Jérémy Dokus, you look at the Romelu Lukakus, you know, Axel Witsel. I know the last two, it kind of makes sense, but, you know, De Bruyne didn't even play on Monday. So, like, the true top talent for Belgium just haven't found form. And a lot of that is because of their age. But this is, I still don't really trust this Belgium team. And it's just as simple as that. I don't trust them. Now, you look at Spain on the other side. There are also questions there, you know. It seems like Mikel Oyarzabal has a off game and then he has an on game. Off game, on game. Off game, is this an on game? You look at the game against Cabo Verde. Kind of played terribly, but played all 90 minutes. Played 45 minutes against Saudi Arabia, had 2 goals and an assist. He then played 76 minutes in the 1-0 win against Uruguay. Didn't play great. He then plays all 90 minutes against Austria, gets 2 goals. He played 89 minutes against Portugal, didn't play great, and was not on the field when the game-winning goal was scored. So does that mean we are in for 2 goals from him today? Potentially. You know, I look at a Lamine Yamal. I don't know if he's, like, because he only has 1 goal at this tournament. He has no assist. I don't want to say he's struggling at this World Cup because he didn't really play against Cabo Verde because he's coming back from an injury. But it's not like this Spain team needs him to be at 100%. He can be at the 70, 75% he's at now, and Spain will be fine. You look at somebody like Rodri, their captain. He has been having a very good tournament in the midfield. Honestly, like he's played he did get subbed off in the game against Cabo Verde, but past that, he has played 90 minutes in every other game at this World Cup so far. He's been having a phenomenal tournament. Another player having a phenomenal tournament is their goalkeeper, Unai Simon. And, he is going to be crucial, obviously, in whatever Spain do at this World Cup. Now, this is not going to be his toughest test, obviously. Given I have pointed out Belgium's struggles, it seems, to score, I don't know if he's going to be tested that much. But if you do sit in that look-ahead spot just a little bit, his toughest test is coming next Tuesday if they get past this Belgium team, which I believe they will. And I believe that same truth to be evident for that back line, which I think has questions, of course. Marco Cucurella, Emerick Lapointe, Paul Kobasi, and Pedro Porro. They've had good tournaments. They haven't had great tournaments. I say all this about both the back line and the goalkeeper, and they still have yet to concede this tournament. But they're going to have games of their life in the potential next two games. I still think Spain are the favorites here. I do think they keep their clean sheet streak alive because, like I've said, this Belgium team struggles to score. And, they're playing their toughest competition of this World Cup, and I don't expect it to go well. I think Spain win. I think it's going to be like 2-0, 3-0 maybe. And Spain move on to a semifinal that will rival the hype of a World Cup final. Getting Spain against France is going to be absolutely incredible cinema. Now, of course, only one team can spoil that now, and that's Belgium. And I think a lot of people are hoping that doesn't happen because this Belgium team just isn't good. Simple as that. Now, all the revisionist history about the U.S., if they won the Belgium game, this and that. No, the U.S. would have gotten blown out in this game. Simple as. It may have been worse than the Belgium game. Overall, though, this Belgium team is good. They are not on the level of Spain. And that just defeats everything there. The better teams have been winning in this knockout stage, as it should be. We want the best on best in those finals. And it sure seems like we are headed that way. So give me Spain to win this game. Now that means after this game, we are halfway through the quarterfinal. We are blessed with two games tomorrow. Norway and England, and then Argentina and Switzerland. There's going to be a lot to preview tomorrow, so make sure you click like and make sure you click subscribe because we will be back here tomorrow morning previewing both of those matches. Now, we will also be back here tonight to recap this Spain-Belgium match, whatever happens. Maybe do a tiny bit of a preview of whoever France will be facing in that semifinal as we draw closer and closer to the end of this World Cup. So like I said, make sure you click like, make sure you click the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you know when all these videos drop, and thank you so much for watching. We will see you again soon here on the Nick Bird Sports Network for another World Cup video, either previewing or reviewing all of the action here at the 2026 FIFA World Cup.